You're not free to leave. Love me or I use my power. I say it into the silence because you're not standing in front of me. And maybe that's the only way I can be honest. When you're gone, my voice stops pretending to be gentle. You think power means chains or walls or guards at the door. But my power has always been simpler than that. It's the way your name settles in my chest like a verdict. It's the way every road you take still curves back to me. I don't chase you loudly. I let the world remind you who I am. I let absence do the work. You feel me even when I don't touch you. And that's the kind of authority no crown ever taught me. I don't speak to you as a man begging for affection. I speak as someone who already knows the ending. You can walk away from rooms, from cities, from promises you never said out loud, but you can't walk away from what you recognized in me. You heard it in my voice the first time, didn't you? That calm certainty that doesn't ask permission. I don't need to corner you to keep you. I simply stand where I am, unmoving, and let everything else feel temporary by comparison. You call this darkness because it scares you how deeply you belong without being claimed out loud. But darkness isn't cruelty. Darkness is truth without decoration. I don't offer you escape routes wrapped in kindness. I offer you one thing, me, whole and uncompromising. I won't dilute myself so you can feel safer leaving. If you stay, it will be because you chose the weight over the emptiness, the storm over the quiet that you tell yourself at night. I know you argue with me in your head. You tell yourself love should feel light, should feel optional, but you've never loved anything optional in your life. You love gravity, you love depth, you love the things that pull you under and teach you how to breathe there. I don't raise my voice to prove dominance. I lower it. I let it settle into you slowly until resisting feels louder than surrender. You're not here, yet I talk as if you are, because distance has never weakened my hold on you. It sharpens it. When you're alone, when the noise dies down, when no one is watching you perform freedom, that's when my words return, not as commands, but as reminders. You know exactly where you are wanted. You know exactly who will never love you halfway. So don't misunderstand me. This isn't a threat. It's a declaration. If you love me, you step into something that doesn't pretend to be small. And if you try not to, my power is simply this: I remain unforgettable. I remain constant. I remain in the place your heart measures everything else against. Whether you come back now or later, you already know the truth. I'm not calling you to stand before me. I'm speaking so you remember where you belong, long before you decide to return. I don't need to see your face to know what you're thinking right now. You're telling yourself that distance makes you stronger, that time will dull whatever this is between us. But I've watched time fail against stronger things than doubt. I've learned patience the way others learn mercy. I wait without weakening, without forgetting. While you measure days, I measure certainty. Every breath you take away from me only proves how deeply I'm already written into you. You think my control comes from what I can command, but that's where you're wrong. It comes from what I don't have to say twice. I don't flood your world with messages or promises. I let silence carry my intention. Silence is loyal to me. It keeps my presence intact even when I'm not there to remind you. And in that quiet, you hear me clearer than you ever did when we spoke aloud. I know you fear losing yourself if you choose me, but you've never been more yourself than in the moments you tried to resist what you felt. The tension, the pull, the way your heart betrayed your logic, that wasn't weakness, that was recognition. You recognize something that doesn't bend, something that won't ask you to shrink so it can fit. I won't love you safely. I'll love you completely, and that terrifies people who mistake comfort for peace. You don't owe me devotion, and I don't offer you freedom without consequence. What I offer is honesty stripped of softness. If you step into my world, you won't wonder where you stand. You won't doubt my intentions or question my presence. I don't disappear when things grow heavy. I become heavier. I stay. And that kind of staying changes people. It leaves marks no distance can erase. Sometimes I imagine you hearing my voice when the night stretches too long. Not because I call you, but because your mind does. Because some part of you knows I'm awake when the world sleeps, that I'm thinking of you not as a memory, but as a certainty waiting for its moment. I don't romanticize the chase. I romanticize the return, the quiet acceptance. When you stop running from what already owns your attention, you can call me ruthless if that makes it easier to pretend you don't feel safe with me. But ruthlessness would have taken you by force. I didn't. I let you walk away carrying my presence like a shadow you can't outrun. I let you choose, knowing choice would lead you back. That's not cruelty. That's confidence born from knowing exactly what I am to you. So take your time. Argue with yourself. Pretend this is something you can forget. I won't interrupt your illusion. I'd be right where I've always been, unchanged, unmoved, undeniable. And when you finally stop asking whether you're allowed to want this, you'll realize you never left at all. You were only learning how to come back. I don't rush what is already inevitable. I let it unfold the way night falls. Slow, deliberate, impossible to stop. You think hesitation protects you, but it only teaches you how much you feel. Every pause, every almost decision, every moment you tell yourself, not now, tightens the thread between us. I don't pull it. I let you feel it draw you closer on your own. I know you tell yourself I'm a risk, something dangerous to want. You're not wrong. But danger isn't always destruction. Sometimes it's transformation. Loving me would burn away the parts of you that learned to settle for less. That's why you resist. You're not afraid of me. You're afraid of who you'd become if you stopped holding back. I don't promise safety. I promise truth. And truth changes everything it touches. Even now, when you try to distract yourself with other voices, other faces, you compare without meaning to. You listen for depth and find echoes. You look for intensity and feel boredom instead. That isn't jealousy speaking. That's clarity. Once you've touched something real, everything else feels like an imitation. I don't need to compete. I've already become the standard you don't admit out loud. I speak to you like this because I respect you too much to lie. I won't tell you that love is soft all the time, or that it won't demand anything from you. Love demands courage, it demands presence. It demands that you stop pretending you're meant for shallow waters. I see the depth you hide even from yourself, and I refuse to treat you like someone who could be satisfied with less than intensity. You wonder if choosing me would mean losing control. But control is overrated when it keeps you numb. What you really want is surrender with intention, not collapse, not weakness, but the kind of surrender that feels like finally setting something down you've been carrying for too long. I don't take power from you. I meet you where power is shared, heavy, and honest. There are nights you feel watched, not in fear, but in familiarity, as if someone knows exactly how you think, how you break, how you heal. That's me without being there, not invading your space, just existing in it quietly. You don't need my touch to feel claimed. You need my certainty, and that certainty has never wavered, not for a second. So stay where you are for now. I won't pull you forward or push you back. I'll let your heart finish the argument your mind keeps losing. When you're ready, you won't come to me asking for permission. You'll come because you finally understand. Some connections aren't chosen in moments. They're recognized, accepted, and lived with. I don't pretend this is gentle because gentleness has never been what kept you awake at night. You're drawn to certainty, to the kind of presence that doesn't flicker when tested. I am that presence. Even when I say nothing, I remain. Even when you doubt, I don't. You can tell yourself stories about independence, about distance making you whole, but the truth is, you've always been looking for something that stands firm when everything else feels temporary. You mistake my calm for restraint, but it's discipline. I've mastered the art of not reaching when I already know the outcome. Desire doesn't make me reckless, it makes me precise. Every word I don't send, every step I don't take is chosen. I'm not driven by impulse, I'm driven by conviction. And conviction doesn't fade just because you look the other way. You feel it when the world slows down around you, when laughter sounds hollow and conversations skim the surface. That quiet dissatisfaction isn't loneliness, it's memory. Your body remembers what your mind tries to forget. It remembers being seen without explanation, wanted without performance. I didn't ask you to become more. I simply refused to accept you as less than you are. I won't soften myself to make this easier for you. If you want ease, choose something forgettable. If you want depth, choose something that challenges you to stay present. I don't promise comfort every day. I promise meaning, and meaning has weight. It presses against you until you either step into it or spend your life wondering why nothing else ever felt enough. Sometimes you think about what it would mean to finally stop resisting. Not dramatically, not all at once. Just a quiet decision to stop pretending this is temporary. That thought scares you more than leaving ever did. Because staying means accountability. It means choosing something that will see you clearly and expect you to do the same. I don't offer anonymity, I offer recognition. I don't need to claim you loudly to know where you stand. You reveal yourself in the way you return to these thoughts again and again, in the way my voice settles you even when it challenges you, in the way you don't feel smaller here. You feel sharper, more awake. That's not control, that's alignment. So remain where you are. If that's what you need to believe you still have a choice, I won't rush the moment you finally stop arguing with yourself. When you're ready, it won't feel like surrender. It will feel like clarity, like stepping into something that was already waiting, with its doors open and its truth intact. I don't need promises from you. Promises are fragile things people make when they're unsure. What binds you to me is quieter and far stronger than words ever could be. It's the way your thoughts slow when they circle back to me, the way certainty settles in your chest even when you try to deny it. You don't imagine me as an option. You imagine me as a constant, and that tells me everything I need to know. You think I'm waiting for the right moment to speak again, to reach out, to remind you. I'm not. I'm letting you hear yourself. I'm letting you feel the difference between distraction and meaning. Anyone can fill time. Very few can fill silence. I do that without effort. Even now when I'm not there, I occupy the space where doubt usually lives. There's a discipline in wanting you without rushing you. It would be easy to pull you closer with sweet lies, to soften my edges so you'd step forward without fear. But I don't want a version of you that comes because it's easy. I want the version that comes because it understands. Understanding lasts longer than comfort. Understanding survives storms. You call this intensity, as if intensity is something to apologize for. But intensity is simply honesty without fear. I don't dilute what I feel, and I don't ask you to dilute what you are. If that makes this heavy, so be it. Some things are meant to be carried with both hands. Some things are meant to change the way you stand in the world. I know you wonder what happens after the choice, after the resistance ends. You imagine possession, loss, being overshadowed. You don't imagine partnership because you've rarely seen power that doesn't need to dominate. I don't need to erase you to stand tall. I need you whole, aware, present. I don't want obedience. I want alignment. You're not here. yet I speak as if you're listening, because you always are, not with your ears, with that quiet part of you that recognizes truth before it finds language. That part of you isn't afraid. It's tired of pretending, tired of temporary connections that never ask anything really of you. Tired of leaving before being seen. So I remain where I am, steady, unchanging, certain. I don't close doors and I don't chase footsteps. I let you arrive when you're done running in circles. And when you do, you won't find drama or chains waiting for you. You'll find something far more dangerous to deny: clarity, depth, and a love that doesn't need to raise its voice to be obeyed.